What's up, everyone? Excited to give this video today about Trump's SPAC DWAC, which has been actually just today reached a settlement with the Securities and Exchange Commission to settle on some insider trading allegations. So they will have to pay a $18 million fine if the company completes its merger transaction. So this is really good news for the stock. This kind of takes away a major, roadblock for this SPAC actually, taking place and merging. So this is a very good sign for Digital World acquisition here, and really opens up the ability for this merger to actually take place. So I'll read something out here I'll read a quote here. So DWAC failed to disclose its discussion with TMTG and failed to disclose a material conflict of interest of its CEO and chairman. So basically, there were some conversations, and then those people who had conversations with DWAC front ran the announcement of the possible merger. So that is, kind of the definition of insider trading, and they actually made over $22 million in illegal profits after buying DWAC shares when they secretly learned about the SPAC's plan to buy Trump's media firm. So, although this kind of brings up, some dirty laundry for the company, it's definitely a great sign, and it's the reason shares are up 30% this morning, is because this opens up. It's actually about 21% now, but this opens up the ability for the company to actually merge and Trump's company to actually start trading on the market. Because right now, this is just a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company, which means that it's a company formed to buy another company, and it hasn't bought that company yet. So it's definitely still a speculative asset until that merger actually takes place. And today was a big step in that direction for the company. So, and when we look at the chart, we can see that that shares have topped out at about this $15 level. Topped out at this level on July 5th. Once news of this potential agreement came out, which I covered on this channel, we moved up to this level, moved lower, and this $15 level is where we have topped out in the past in March and in early April. So it's definitely a significant resistance level. And then pre-market, we are actually trading above this level, which I love to see. And pre-market, we are expected to open up above the 200-day moving average, which is a great sign for bullish momentum. And this is the first time we're above that daily moving average since March 22nd, March of 2022, March 10th. So good sign to see there. Or although I should say the stock has actually never been above the 200-day moving average in its history, just because it was so new. But it's the first time it's above the 50-day moving average since March. So good to see there. Actually, we moved above the 50 DMA in early July. So really, you could say that this move is the first time in the stock's history we're above the 200-day moving average, which is definitely a good sign and a bullish sign of momentum. So that's a good sign for shares. The question is, where do we head at once the market opens? And first off, this is not financial advice, but in my opinion, we see a pretty significant resistance level at about $17, which is where shares had topped out in February and January. Also where shares had topped out in November of 2022. So this level seems to be pretty firm resistance. So me personally, I think we likely continue higher now that we're above all daily moving averages, and shares aren't overbought or anything. So my opinion, we're above the 200-day. As long as we move above this resistance level at 1730, I think we'll see a larger move higher for this company over the coming weeks. What's the next level of resistance? Well, the next major level of resistance is around $30, which is where shares had topped out in November of 2022. Just looking purely at the chart, not considering fundamentals. Obviously, this company is extremely speculative here. Just to live in reality, I do have to say that. Now that we're above the 200-day, and if we're able to move over the $17.40 resistance level, I believe we see a larger move higher up to $30 over the coming weeks. So that is my official prediction for Digital World Acquisition Corp. And then, kind of playing into my bullish thesis here is I believe we could see a short squeeze for this company, and I'll tell you why. So 7.4% of the float is sold short currently, and we have 8 days to cover, which basically just means it takes 8 days of average volume to cover the the existing shares that are sold short. And this is basically a metric that pretty much determines the likelihood of a short squeeze. So typically, we look for a days to cover of about 10 to signify a short squeeze. So Digital World Acquisition is obviously somewhat short on that number, but given the pretty high short interest as a percent of float, and that we're at 8.14 days to cover, I would give this basically a B to a B plus in terms of short squeeze likelihood. So it definitely does seem likely that we get a short squeeze from this company. And then let's take a look at who holds this company. What large institutions actually have bought shares? So we see Millennium Management had bought shares around $44, and that they actually bought $1.2 million. 1.2 million shares, which is about 5% of the company. So this hedge fund owns 5% of the company, and they're still in shares. They also own some calls as well. So the company may be looking to shed some exposure, as prices rise. Given that they're a hedge fund, they're likely not buying based on any fundamental reason. They're likely buying based on technicals. That's kind of what hedge funds do. They try to make money trading. They don't really make long-term investments much often, although they will sometimes. But in this case, I would assume this is more likely a trade for the company. So given this company owns so much of shares, we're kind of beholden to what they do with their stock, right? I mean, they own 1.2 million shares, and the next largest holder is 384,000 shares, which kind of shows you that, Millennium Management is kind of, the it's kind of the dog wagging the DWAC tail, if you will. It's the company is kind of controlling, what day-to-day trading is really looking like. So be on the watch for that. If we see a massive sell-off, if we see a massive sell-off combined with volume, it's likely Millennium Management, trying to cut some losses, in the midst of a larger move higher. So be on the lookout for that. Millennium Management is likely going to try to take advantage of this move higher and sell down this unprofitable position for them. So keep that in mind when you're trading shares here. But with that being said, to kind of sum it all up, this is a great news event for the company. This move higher definitely isn't unjustified. It really does knock down a major roadblock for this company, and actually, merging Digital World, Trump's media company, with this SPAC. So awesome to see here. Great news event. And then, I do believe the technicals are quite bullish, and if everything plays out like I think it could and like I think it should, then we should see a move higher to $30 over the coming weeks. Obviously, not financial advice, just my opinion. And I really would need to see a move above 1730 resistance level before I kind of thought that was very likely. So also, short squeeze looks somewhat likely. I'd give it about a B plus. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll end it there. If you got some value from this video, please leave a like. We post company breakdowns and important market moving news on this channel on a daily basis, so make sure you are subscribed. If you would like to receive my daily portfolio moves, my exits, my entries, and see how me and my team of analysts are trading the markets, join the Discord through the link in the description below to get our free 7-day trial. Also, if you would like to join our free daily newsletter, sign up to our Substack, which is linked below as well. With that being said, good luck, everyone. Happy trading, happy investing.